allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approve the minutes of the prior meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the September 1st monthly meeting?
Don't make guess.
Oh, well.
Do the guess first. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oops,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's my fault.
No worries.
All right, sorry, I'll get the guest, the Main Street Water Main Project update, Zach, from Woodard and Curran.
Yep. Zach Aronson, Woodard and Kern. We had held the pre-construction meeting earlier this week, Tuesday, October 18th, I believe. Contractor, we went over, we were with all different, parties of interest, Mass DOT, Conservation, Mass DEP, some folks from the town, including the highway director, Tom Ferry, or superintendent, I should say. We went over a lot of project specifics, got all on the same page, which was great. C. Naughton, the general contractor for the job, was also able to provide an updated schedule. They are hearing from their pipe shipper that they are able to get a pipe a little earlier, so it's looking like the November 7th-ish. We do have that updated schedule, and I can forward that out as part of the meeting minutes. That will all come out to everybody, and we can provide that as needed. But again, November 7th, we'll actually be out in town tomorrow, setting up straw wattle erosion control along Main Street all the way throughout the project. During the pre-construction meeting, we also talked about items such as paving during the winter. Contractor C. Naughton feels comfortable that they will be able to source hot mix asphalt throughout the winter. And we currently have a letter going to the town to request not to use controlled density fill, just because for water main maintenance and things like that, it would be a real problem to have that controlled density fill sitting on top of your water main for the life of the project, right? If you have a water main break in the future, you're gonna have, as that controlled density fill sits on top of the main, it becomes almost as hard as concrete. You do not want that on top of your water main for long-term use, maintenance, repair, operation.
So what do they plan on using for the backfill?
Well, it's just common fill is what, around the pipe you have a sand blanket.
Right.
And, underneath it's common fill, but it has to meet, certain, our spec. So if it's not meeting our spec, we'll have a full-time resident engineer out there making sure we're not putting bad material back in the hole.
So they're testing for compaction and all that good stuff?
Yes,
when they
exactly.
Backfill, okay.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to follow all of our specifications as far as, it's typically 2 lifts,
Yeah.
every 12 foot, so.
Yeah.
We'll make sure they're out there doing that on top of all their necessary compaction and suitable fill needs. So that's like the biggest thing I think that we need to consider as we're making our way down Main Street, especially during winter operations. They will pave at the end of each day. They're not required to per spec, but they said they will, which is great. I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely. That road there is bad enough as it is.
Yep.
In its current shape, especially over the winter and in the freeze thaw and the snow and the plows.
Agreed.
It's gonna turn into a nightmare.
Right, and as far as sorry to interrupt.
No, it's fine,
you,
it's
but
fine.
I think they're on the same page with us. They don't want to see things settling, because as soon as it settles, right, we're going to be back telling them, hey, listen.
Yeah.
They don't want to have an issue as much as we don't, and
Yeah.
we were very clear. Tom was very clear that day that that's one of the things that, hey, we need to stay on top
Yeah,
of them.
absolutely.
So again, the whole reason we're here, at this November 7th deadline is the large delay. I don't think it's a secret that the large delay of being able to source pipe, right? It's a nationwide thing. It isn't just here, and I think it's actually a lot. We're actually ahead of schedule in terms of a lot of other different projects that need to source pipe and get it in the ground. The contractor was pretty active about buying the pipe early as soon as the bid was awarded, so it's great. So we went through a bunch of different items in addition to that, but I think those are the gist as what we want to hear on where that's going. The next step is Wednesday next week. We'll be out on site going over stormwater management prevention plan with the stormwater agent and Conservation Commission. And we'll have a swimp for them, or the contractor will have a swimp for them, and they'll see all the erosion controls in place, so that's great.
So that's next Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, yeah, during the day, yeah.
And refresh my memory on the anticipated completion date.
So the anticipated completion date, and just per contract,
Yep.
give me 2 seconds here. I wanna say it's the end of July, but I have it right in front of me, so might as well tell you for sure. Yeah, so substantial completion is August 13th, per the contract.
Okay.
And then they have final completion, this is August 13th, 2023. Final completion after that is October 12th, 2023, and that's usually just payment, right?
Payment and punch list and
Payment, punch
retained
list.
release and all that fun stuff?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And actually, we probably would want to get most of that stuff done before then, but I think it's good that we're out ahead of it right now, and really has a good buffer for when, it's giving us a good buffer to get up to that date with being able to get the pipe in a little earlier.
Gotcha. Do they have any, that schedule of August 13th for substantial completion, do they have any float in that schedule to account for, say, winter weather, where they're, during snowstorms or when we have deep freezes, they're not gonna be able to excavate, things like that?
There's nothing specifically indicated on the schedule, but I'm sure that they're aware of factors such as exactly what you said, winter weather conditions
Yeah.
that will not allow it. They specifically said that, we're gonna try to work through the winter.
Yeah.
But if, we understand that we're not gonna be working in the middle of weather,
Yeah.
inclement weather
Right,
situations.
right. Okay.
And again, we can, we'll have that schedule, copied, and sent out. It'll be
Right.
to all the parties as part, and whoever would like to be copied on it, just
Yeah.
let me know.
And you'll be the point person
Yes.
for Woodard and Kern?
Yes.
Throughout the process?
Yeah, throughout the
Okay.
process, I'm the project engineer for this work.
Unfortunately, I have your cell phone number now, so.
That's okay, call me whenever. No, so yeah, it will be the point person. Renee Lonzo also works a lot in this job, but the day-to-day will be through me.
Okay, cool. And, oops, sorry, go ahead.
Do you know what time that meeting will be installed?
10 a.m.
10 a.m., thank you.
Police detail all lined up?
Yeah, so we went over how that would be done. All the district has to, those are come through SRF reimbursement, so all those police details are gonna come directly, billed to the district. It's not gonna go through the contractor, it's gonna be directly billed to the district, and then will be reimbursed through SRF
Okay.
funding. It's a
Do-
separate line item in the SRF.
Do we line up the police detail, or does C Naughton line up the police?
CNOT will do it, but we need to make sure we stay coordinated on getting slips. Our RPR will be out there
Yeah.
grabbing slips at the end of the day, but anything billing wise, and we kinda talked about this already, we'll go to Tina in her office.
Okay, cool.
Let me know if I misspoke on any of that, but I think that's kinda what we discussed.
Yeah. I don't have any questions.
As far as the main that's going in the ground, are you removing, you're gonna install all the main and then tie in the houses, or you're tying in houses as
So
you go?
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah, so it's typically what they're gonna do is there's a phased approach on the plans, but what they're gonna do is, install the main, pressure test, disinfect, have that all set up, and then they'll wet tap the mains as they call for services, so they'll switch everybody over after. But it's nice on this job where there's another parallel main running at the same time, so nobody's gonna lose service, except for when they're being switched over, obviously.
So you're gonna switch everybody over the same day that you lay the main in the ground?
No, you're gonna have to, so they lay the main, they'll
And go back.
backfill it, right, they'll backfill it, and then yes, they'll pop in the services after the main has passed pressure test and disinfecting requirements.
Okay.
We're just asking because we have enough problems with the dirty water calls and the flows and this and that. I didn't know how this is gonna.
Yeah, so they will, and they'll have notices for when they're be shut off, usually, and typically on the days where they are doing the shut-offs, like I said, you lose water for maybe 20 minutes or so, but they'll notify them and talk through it, and obviously the residents along the street will know that there's
Yeah.
work going on.
It's
And
not the residents that usually is the problem, it's the whole town. As soon as you disrupt the flow, that's when the whole
Okay.
town gets disrupted, and so
Yeah,
we just have to make sure that we notify the town residents when this is gonna happen.
Yeah, Of course, and I actually think one thing we talked about at the pre-construction meeting is putting together a notice, you know, for the whole town, just to, like, a blast, say, hey, this work's gonna be going on from this time to this time. So we would work with Jeff and Tina on putting something together for that. Just as a, you know, hey, we're Main Street water main replacements, why are we doing this? For X, Y, and Z, and just to give everybody a good knowledge of why we're doing it and what's happening.
So individual homes only be down for about an hour?
Yeah, if that, during those, for most, I would say, there's gonna be some areas where they're what's called a cut-in, but those will be done in the middle of the night when no one's there. And it's for the purposes of, the tank near Elm Street.
Yep.
Just, you know, getting it switched over quickly as opposed to, trying to do everything during the middle of the day and be, you know, that's when your usage is the least, is in the middle of the night, so.
And when
Usage
you say
on demand
middle
on
of
the
the
tank.
night, up till what time will you be working?
So the plans call anywhere from 9 PM to 6 AM. But they're, like, again.
That's not gonna be every day, though.
No, that's
just gonna be-
one
Right,
small, one aspect of the project, and that will be one time.
Yeah.
One shutdown specifically called out in the plans.
So the normal work hours, what, 7 to 3 or 8 to 4, something like that, whatever it may be?
Yeah, so I think the contract reads something like 7 to 5,
Okay.
but they're gonna work 8 hours, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Because they have to pay their people, you know, not, you know, don't wanna pay them.
Now, the evening be just one day?
Just be one day, 1 8-hour shutdown. That's what it's spec'd as. It'll probably be quicker than that, to be honest with you.
Just trying to anticipate any questions we may get from
Oh, no,
residents.
totally understand.
And that way we're,
And if we find somebody's house service that's no good at the time of the changeover, we might have to do a house service.
Okay.
I mean, if that's inevitable, if they find a bad one, or if there's something wrong with it, or lead, or whatever they find.
Right.
It's corrosion, it's packed up with sediment, and they have to, then we'll have to worry about that.
Yeah, we'll discuss
Individual
that
house.
when we get,
Okay.
yeah, when we get there. I mean, again, right now, the contract is, just what it is to the contractor is from main to curb.
Yep.
So that'll be, like you said, we'll have to
Yeah,
handle it.
yeah,
at
we'll
that
just have
time.
to worry about that.
Right, exactly, and we'll make sure to keep our eyes on that. The RPR will know, especially, you know, especially associated with anything to do with lead.
Mhm.
Can I ask a question? Are you gonna supply the district with all blueprints from curb stop to the shut-off box, from telephone pole to the curb?
Like ties, you're saying?
All the ties?
So the town, as part of the process to develop all these plans and things like that, did a survey, or the district, I'm sorry, did a survey, and they picked up a lot of these boxes, and a lot of times they do a utility research, and they probably picked up all the ties from the district at the time then, but those are located based on either record drawings or actual field survey.
Right, but if you're changing the tap,
Oh, yes.
We'll have
yes,
as-
yes,
we'll have
yeah,
as-built- we'll have
record
as-bills.
drawing.
We'll have
Yes,
as-bills.
yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I thought you were asking if we were wondering, we could tell them where they were prior. No,
We'll have
those are
as-bills.
part of the plans.
There's no-
But yeah, no, I got you. Yes, we will do as-bills.
Yep. Anyone else?
Good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no
Awesome,
problem.
awesome. I'm sure we'll be in touch and
Great.
we'll be asking questions, so.
Yeah, of course, and you guys know where to find me. I live in Rainham, so I'm not too far away.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, appreciate it, Zach.
Thank you.
All right, Zach, thanks. Approve the minutes of the prior meetings. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of September 1st monthly meetings?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. The reading of the correspondence, we have a letter from Mr. Mullins from the town. Good afternoon, members of the Dighton Board of Selectmen, Dighton Water District, North Dighton Fire District, and Dighton Electric. I write today to bring your attention to an important grant opportunity made possible through the State Community Compact Cabinet Efficiency and Regionalization, ENR program. Please see more about the program. You will note that this grant round just opened with an application due date of November 10th, 2022 at 12 o'clock. As we know, we have always placed an important priority on the relationship between the town of Dighton, including our ascending departments and treasurer collector's office in particular, and our respective districts. This focus on this relationship has only strengthened in recent years due to the heightened expectations relation to the coordination for taxing capacity and equality for the town residents, capital and infrastructure improvements, utility upgrades, community growth and development, and overall municipal operations. Each of our respective districts have also seen or are seeing transitions in their respective leadership during the last year, which further brings attention to the priority and efficiency regarding our relationship to each of these areas. To that end, I respectfully seek your consideration and support to submit an ENR grant application that would allow us to hire outside financial and engineering consultants who would work with us to assess and make recommendations on the current structure and relationship between each of our entities. Given the challenges we all face with the above-mentioned issues, we have the unique and timely opportunity to complete such assessment that can only further inform and streamline our future efforts on behalf of the residents of Dighton. I would be happy to work and speak with you on your respective district officials at the earliest possible convenience. Please do hesitate to reach out to me directly if you have any questions. Sincerely, Mike. So it looks like they have a grant to see if it's worth regionalization.
So it's a grant to put us, to do a study to put all the districts under the purview of the town of Dighton, correct?
Correct.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is,
Study.
what's that?
It's a study.
Just a study, so it's just a study, it's not anything that is, if they do the study, it's saying we're going to do it, or.
It's not binding or
It's not
anything.
binding,
Yeah.
that's what I wanna make sure, it's just not
Right.
binding.
Right.
I mean, look, I have no issues if they wanna do the study. I'll hold my thoughts on, combining for another day, but if they wanna do the study, then it, is what it is. I have no issues with them, or with us helping out with the study. I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
That's fine.
Yep. Yeah,
It's
and
not
it's a
gonna
little
cost
bit like
anybody
an audit.
anything.
Yeah, it doesn't cost us anything, it's for information only,
Right.
and then we go from there. Okay.
All right, is there a motion to support the town of Dighton to submit an efficiency and regionalization grant application?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Financial conditions, operating budget to actual balances, income for the first 3 months of fiscal 2023 is $1,276,988, with expenses at $1,235,447, which is 44% of our budgeted expenses. Outstanding water receivables as of September 30th is $129,195. Month's commitments are $18,244. And the water receivables for the month are $114,914. Is there a motion to accept the financial reports as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Is there a motion to approve the expenditure warrants as presented?
Which ones are the expenditure? What do we got? Do you have those, did I sign any of those? But, yeah, so moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Superintendent's report.
At this time, would you entertain a motion to go into a relatively quick, what do we call it? Executive session.
is that in lieu of what we have at the bottom of the,
Yeah, I mean, we have it down at the bottom, so we can just move it up.
okay.
Don't we have to talk about some union business also at that time?
We can come out and come back in. Up to you.
So we can do two of them?
Can we do 2 executive sessions, or no? So if we do one
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, I think you can
and then,
go out and come back in.
okay. That's
Would
fine.
Would the town do that, the selectmen, if they had to?
No, it's technically, no, since you didn't post it.
Yeah.
It's on there
No, no.
for an executive.
To do two.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, you
If you
can
do
do
one,
one.
then you would make a motion to suspend the order of business, move item 12 up, and then you could take care of the items you need to in executive session.
Okay.
You'd have to also state why, which
Right.
you've done.
So let's just, can we just move it to the end? Can we keep it at the end? Because it's gonna be,
Sure.
yeah.
All right, superintendent.
No, I was just gonna ask how long that would be.
Yeah, that's, I think, we're just gonna wait till the
We'll do it,
end to do it, because we have
Point of order.
Yeah.
some visitors here, yeah.
All right,
So that's fine.
superintendent report. I have been here a little over 3.5 years. I'm moving on. I will not be superintendent as of November 18th. Beside the point. So I just wanted to talk about a few of the things that we have done here in the short time that I've been here. So number one, we replaced an antiquated and faulty pH and turbidity analyzer. The meters in there weren't being used anymore by Hawk, and it was pretty much the end game for those. So we replaced everything there about 6 months after we got here. So that was one, and that actually helped the filters, with the filter runs, due to the accuracy of what we had in there. It really wasn't great. Now, the 3 filter rehabs. So I was told they wouldn't be needing rehab until the plant was paid off. After digging a bit with the Roberts, this really wasn't the case. They were telling us about every 10 to 12 years. The first rehab found the under drains were in danger of a catastrophic failure, and they needed to be replaced. Thankfully, we rehabbed them when we did. Currently, all 3 have been rehabbed. So you're looking at basically new filtration in there. There's still some stuff to do, but the filtration is basically brand new.
But good for the next 10 to 12 years.
We started a preventative maintenance program on the pumps, the motors, the generators, the wells, and we started a leak detection program. Things were just kind of do it now. Now they're kind of set up on a month, in a certain month of the year, and they come in and things are rehabbed in a little bit of a different way now. We recognize the need to implement a moratorium. That was with the commissioners on building. It was apparent to me that the district couldn't sustain the growth of the town without finding a new source of water. Plain and simple, your well's inadequate for the next 20 years of this town. So that's why we went ahead with that. Cedar One, so with that, we had a Cedar One, we decided that we were gonna need to look for some water. So we looked around Cedar One, so about 70 feet off of Cedar One, we were able to get a yield of 600 gallons a minute from Cedar One, which was a giant improvement for the 40 gallons a minute we were getting, and the 50 we're getting right now at Cedar One. So that was a win. That should be going in this winter, hopefully operational by next winter in the summer. So Cedar One will be rehabbed. We implemented and enforced a better water conservation bylaw. The plant couldn't sustain irrigation usage throughout the day. I adopted the plan that the state uses, and it saved us through the first drought. Through the second drought, it really saved us, because that's when I realized the need to implement this plan. So it's not always popular with the residents, but we've been able to maintain this place. We do not pump 800,000–900,000 gallons a day anymore. We're generally in the 6–7 range, so we're saving the wells. Again, I mentioned leak detection. We've done that now 2 rounds. The first round we did it, we estimated somewhere around 100 gallons a minute we found in leaks. But before that, we'd be, I mean, if you're pumping 700 gallons a minute, think about 100 isn't being used. So now our unaccounted for has gone way down. I mean, you're saving money in chemical, you're not pumping as much, it's just so our daily flows have gone down considerably. The efficiency of this place is just phenomenal at this, but that alone has pretty much changed the course of this place. We did a rate study. 16 years, the place pretty much kept the same rate. We were all in agreement, the rates needed to change. Unfortunately, the meters shit the bed during it, and that was a very difficult time, but we pushed through, did a rate study. Wasn't the most popular thing in the world. It was a very good meeting we had. I believe we were able to explain it quite well, and you now have different rates. Our rates are more sustainable for your future, and currently we're definitely on a path to financial success. We do have approximately $1.3 million in reserves. We used part of our reserves last year to pay loans, OPEB, certain other things, right, Tina? So we're now using some left over to pay down some of our debt, which was always the plan. Our fee structure, we changed that. It needed to increase to reflect the need for the builders to bear some of the burden of the infrastructure needs of an old and growing system. So that has been completely revamped. Your bylaws, your rules and regs. The town now owns every meter under 2 inch and under. The only meter this town does not own is Dighton Power. Before that, it had to have been 20, 30 meters you didn't have control of, and you couldn't do anything to them. 20, 30, 40 million gallons on a meter, no, you're not changing it. Well, we now control those meters. Our website was completely redone. That was a great job by Tina and Kim. But they pretty much control the website, but it's not dial-up anymore. The MVP project was an interconnected project with Somerset, Swansea, and Fall River. It did net us a lot of good gains. We ended up having some relationships now with Woodard and Curran. We gained some great things from that. The Main Street water main replacement project, we estimated that. We didn't know what the cost of that was going to end up being. It ended up coming $500,000 under budget, or under bid, not under budget, under bid. And we received a little bit over $800,000 in loan forgiveness for that project. I think it's around a little under $4 million. A little under 3, around 3. So we did get a substantial amount of loan forgiveness for that, which was fantastic. A master plan was completed. That was early on in my process. It kind of went dormant for a while, and then we completed it. That was a huge success because you kind of need a master plan done. There really isn't many chemical feed pumps in there that are the same. Everything's been pretty much gutted, and again, to reflect the 21st century. We had to deal with COVID. So COVID was an extreme challenge for everybody here. We teamed up. It was difficult, and now, I mean, obviously we're in a better place now. We know COVID isn't maybe what it was, and we're doing a lot better. But we did manage it through COVID. We did have to contend with 2 summers of droughts. The 2020 drought was pretty much the main driver of the building moratorium. Again, it was apparent to me and the board that we just couldn't handle the growth, and the water supply couldn't handle it. So the previous administration was a little adamant that we had ample supply, and that things started to become quite glaring that we weren't going to be able to sustain irrigation, growth, and such. So my experience told me we needed to start looking for water. So we did 2 well explorations. Again, Cedar Street netted us over 500 gallons a minute in capacity, and I like to believe the Milk Street project netted us the possibility of purchasing Brook Street from Somerset. Hopefully in November you'll know. That will be a giant success for the town of Dighton. The budget, Tina can attest to this. It's taken a little time, but the budget is completely different. So things are more funded. We don't, my first year I remember having to go back to Derek and go, I need this money, I need to get this, and he was battling for me. I remember going through the battle because of the pH meters, like where is it? We kind of budget for certain things now because you shouldn't, I mean, this is a pretty big operation, and we're in a really good shape with our budget. There isn't really anything you want there. The budget's pretty tight. I'm proud of that budget. We don't rely on capital improvement fees anymore because we don't really have any coming in. And to have that 1.3 in our kitty is substantial. That'll help you along the way when you get the well and you're going to need to do some work. Just to know that it's there, and you know you can use that for obviously the upgrades needed. Yeah. So as far as the budget goes, the rates totally changed. Everyone knows that it was an uproar, but we needed to do that to reflect to more flatline the tax rate. The tax rate going up and down like a heartbeat was a very unsustainable way to be. So now we have a system where your rates are going to steadily go up. They are going to go up a little bit, but your tax rate should flatline and stay the same. So I hope we can continue on that path. In the 3.5 years, we've gotten just under $1 million in grants. It's like 900,000 in grants. The meter problem, that was a giant issue that we're actually, I don't know how many we're through now, about 4 or 5? Yeah, we have about 500 changed of the 1,100 that went bad on us, so we're looking at, I mean, it's slowed down a little, we're going to be obviously making calls, we're going to take care of it. And I anticipate that being fixed probably totally by the end of next year, but we are in an entirely better place. We all say it, it's like a big relief in there.
So you're saying there's about 500 done? How many? 500?
Yeah, it's a giant relief.
And it's working.
I know. I mean, that's about it. I really just wanted to go over a lot of the successes that we've had. Obviously, there's been failures, but you are always, you know, there are things that are going to happen here. We've always tackled them kind of head on, and I'm kind of proud of the direction this place is going. And I wish everyone here the best of luck.
What's the update on the Brook Street well with the town of Somerset?
I gotta sign something tonight, send it over to Lighthouse. They're gonna deal with planning, and that's November 2nd, I believe. So far, possible.
So what do we have to sign for that?
They were giving us a little more land to increase
the
400-foot buffer thing. They're adding a little bit for us.
The one that you did earlier.
Any truth to the rumor that the Somerset was stepping in to claim that they wanted some of that money from the sale, and they were going to stop it? They're trying to stop it?
Oh, the town itself?
The town itself, yeah.
I don't know I know some of the rumors. I don't want to spread them. I would rather not divulge. I mean, right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's not 100%.
Well, nothing is, but you know,
Alright.
Lenny has a question. Lenny?
The question is, has the town of Somerset placed the Brooks Street well sale on their warrant for the November meeting? Town
Still
meeting.
waiting, Lee.
I'm sorry?
Still waiting to hear.
mhm.
And it's October.
They have state deadlines for posting of warrant articles, just through the day.
We don't even know when the meeting is.
Was it gonna be on two different, was it gonna be a separate meeting for the?
I saw something on the town board, on the police department saying they were having a town meeting, and then but that was something different.
Yeah.
October, whatever it was, this week, last week. So we haven't heard anything now.
Clerk has deadlines, Board of Selectmen has deadlines to get warrant, just like, you know, what you've done.
We can ask, I mean, we can
Yeah,
make a phone call,
If
but
it's not on the warrant, they're not voting on it.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't vote on it, we don't get it.
Correct.
I totally agree.
Just like Dighton, Somerset usually has two town meetings, one in the fall and one in May or June.
We can't count 100%. We've said that from day one. I agree with you, but we just have to hope for the best, I guess. So I guess we have to sign this last thing for that little parcel, for that buffer land. I mean, obviously it's still going through if they want us to sign that piece, but that's all we really
Just a question if it's on the next warrant or the one in the spring. Whatever they do, unless they do a special one, which I don't think they would do. Let's do some research on that on our own, if it's gonna be on the warrant or not.
You had it on here too, Jeff, the contract amendment from Chuck. I don't know what.
You got one?
I gave it to each of
You
them.
got it?
Yeah.
Do you have anything else on your report that you want?
No, just,
No.
good luck.
I appreciate the time and the service and all that you've done, and we'll figure out what we gotta do, what we gotta do next. We have big shoes to fill, so we'll see what comes of it. So thank you for your service and your time and the effort that you put in the last 3.5 years. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job righting the ship. You know, all the things with the Band-Aids on the system, the aging system. So, again, I don't want to see you go.
Thank you, Art.
Jeff, we've had our differences, we work good together, and we've had our disagreements, but you have done a lot for the district. You have cared, and you have made a difference in the time that you've been here, as a commissioner and as a boss. So, I wish you the best on your next adventure. All right, so we have to make a motion on the environmental partners, which, I don't know if we're really gonna.
That we'll have to
accept
table that, because that, yeah, we'll have to
we
table that, because
read that. 'Cause we
I disagree with a lot of it, so, and I want to review it some more, and go through it, and look at the contract that we had with them, so,
They're asking for a $61,000 increase
mhm.
on their contract that we already signed with them, so we're going to look further into that to see if we actually have to pay, or what they want as far as increase.
Right. So we have to make a motion to table it? Is that what we need to do?
Make a motion to table the contract between environmental partners and the district water. Is there a motion? All right, is there a motion to table it?
Table it, yeah, so moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. All right, we're all the Brook Street Wall, the NYU update, Main Street project, we have new business, the audit report.
So the audit report, I just skimmed through it today. So, overall it looked good. There was a couple of small recommendations on the one report, but nothing, I mean, everything's there. I'll do a deeper dive before the next meeting. But overall, it looked good to me. Numbers look good, everything looks good.
You were happy with everything, Tina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like working with them.
As long as you're good with it, I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
That's all on you there.
There was a larger one you sent us, right? It was
Yeah.
like a-
Yeah, there was one with,
some
like-
page. Yeah, that was the one I think I got buried in.
Yeah, that was a 37 pager.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then I got buried in that one, I'd like
A
to.
lot
look
of
at that.
numbers and, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and the environmental protection, is that with Scott, the
Yes.
T1? Why don't we ask for Scott to come in? The state is mandating a T1, if we, God forbid, we don't get one, a T1 violation.
We've
So-
had 2 in my attendance.
May I ask what a T1 is?
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Tier 1 violation, it's when you get a coliform hit out in the system but with no E. coli. It's a slap on the wrist, take care of it, assess it. So,
That's one more, just quick pragmatic question. I'm sorry, this is my first time. For many years, I had well water. Your position is, sorry to see you go. You seem like a good and decent man. Good luck. Is there a process for your successor, or is he already appointed? Is he appointed, or are you an employee of the town, of the water district? Or I just don't understand the dynamics of the, like you three are elected?
Yes, we're
Correct.
elected, and then Jeff is the superintendent of the district.
And you hire the superintendent?
That's correct.
Okay, correct. And where are you in the process of?
Well, after Jeff just turned in his resignation, so now we have to, obviously, we have it in this pile of posting, so we have to post it. Job description.
Why are you leaving?
it's complicated.
Maybe we can go for lunch.
Yeah, that would be good.
I'm serious. I'm new to this, and quite frankly, I appreciate your sincerity, because it's very disconcerting to me that nobody's here, that this meeting isn't posted. Where do you post these meetings? There's nothing about this meeting on the website.
I apologize, it should have been on the website.
There's nothing,
Oh.
even your sign up front doesn't mention there's a meeting.
No, we usually don't put
It's
sign off.
it's posted at the town, it's posted here, it's posted at the post offices.
It's disconcerting.
But see, I'll stop you there
You can
because,
stop me anywhere you want. I'll talk.
no, because
I'm done.
you're in here to try to stir it up, right?
No, I'm not, sir.
Yes, you are.
No, sir, you
This
don't
is stuff
even
that
know
we do all the
You don't
time.
even know me. Don't tell me what I'm here for and not here
I know what
for.
you're here for, that's
You're a
fine.
buffoon. okay?
Oh, excuse me?
You're a buffoon.
Can you please leave?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Don't call me names. I don't know who you think
I didn't
you are.
call
You
you
don't
names.
call me names. You call me a buffoon.
Yes, you
Don't
are.
call me names.
You're a buffoon.
How old are you?
I don't care how old I am.
Yeah, okay.
You're a buffoon.
Please leave.
I am. Goodbye.
Good.
And what's your name, sir?
My name's Jason Quinn.
Mr. Arrogant One.
Okay.
Mr. Jason Quinn, Mr.
Yep.
Arrogance.
Yep, that's me.
You're a very arrogant man.
Okay. I think my 11-year-old calls people names. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're a buffoon.
Have a good evening, sir.
Don't call me sir, I work for a living. The name is Chuck Hart. Remember your heart.
Good evening, sir. Have a good evening. Next.
All right, Scott Cheatham works for the district. He's here to help us to try to get this paperwork / going, I guess, as far as the whole process.
We just need a tier 1. That was interesting. We just need a tier 1 violation action plan. We don't have one. For us, crappy printout, sorry.
That's all right.
For us, the worst we'll have to worry about usually is E. coli. There should be no reason why anything above a 4 with chlorine should leave. And forget the other one. Those other ones don't apply to us. Turbidity, and that's the same thing. We monitor that. So the E. coli is the biggest concern for us out in distribution.
And as far as the state is mandating a change, as far as the tier one, they want everybody notified within 24 hours?
Used to be, that day, that's changed.
Okay,
So that it could happen at, let's say, 10 o'clock at night, we gotta get it out.
okay. So we have to have a game plan and a, as far as, and it's a written plan.
Correct.
So either phone calls, people going banging on doors, whatever it takes as far as, so it's gonna be the same day.
Reverse 911, oh,
So my only question is, have you reached out to the Board of Health? Reason being, he can contact every home.
that'd be an incredible asset. That's exactly what we need.
He could, Todd, Roz, you know, obviously you're not gonna call the North, but give them a call tomorrow. Matter of fact, I'll reach out to Barbara.
Well, that's why we had Scott come in, so we could discuss it to find out.
I'll reach out to
we-
Barbara Catavia tonight and let her know that, you know, someone from your office will
Doesn't
be.
have to be anything super extensive. I mean, there are forms and things we have to fill out with the DEP, but.
But you have to notify the public,
Absolutely,
and this way they can reach every home.
yes.
Just like today, they implemented it because of an issue with the police, with the missing person. So,
So we have to have a written game plan,
Yep.
so that's
And it has to be on file with the
DEP.
Yes,
DEP.
we should have a plan on file with them. Karen Doobie is usually the person on point, but she's not always there, so then you call the emergency hotline, and then they're very good. Chris Wickman from Somerset,
Yeah.
they had to boil water due to water break and the pressure dropped too low, so they had some back siphonage. She's fantastic. Whoever's here and, you know, new superintendent, she'll walk them right through it. But it's just something we don't have, and I noticed it, and
We need to have it.
we need to have it.
So these tier one hits that we have, do they stay on record for a certain period of time, or forever, or is it 2
I'm not
years?
sure.
whatever it
No,
may be?
it's probably longer than 2 years, but I don't want to say, I'm not sure as far as how long they stay. Is it a year?
A year?
Yeah, it's the year. I know the tier, well, it's not a tier two, the total coliform is a year.
That's right.
Right,
But I'm not quite, I think that's a little longer. Again, most of the time, it's in your distribution system, and it's caused by either a break or some type of cross connection with sewer, and there's a back siphonage that gets pulled in. Super rare. I don't want to be the one working and not know what I have to do.
okay.
now it's coliform?
Total coliform is just a common bacteria. It's-
Right, it's not E. coli.
No, E. coli is the one that I'm concerned about.
Are you allowed a certain number of hits per year or per time
You
frame?
said there's others, right?
1 a year.
One a year you're allowed to have?
Correct.
And then if it's more than one, what happens if there's more than
Then you have
one?
to-
Not saying we're going to, but just so we know.
We're talking about total coliform.
Yeah,
You have to do the next level of assessment
okay.
and show some type of corrective action, like we just had to hit recently, as we all know.
Yeah,
Chlorinated tanks.
Yep.
Samples came out good.
Yep.
Keep that going, we're in good shape, that drops off.
gotcha. Okay. No, I like hooking up with the health department and using that resource as well too.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, thanks, Lenny. All right, I think that's it, Scott. We'll get some team effort, we'll get some
Perfect.
going from there, and then we'll get back to you.
Write it
and
up,
see
we'll get
what-
cracking.
Okay,
Perfect.
all right, thank you.
All right, guys, we don't
Thank
know.
you.
That's quick.
Thanks for your time.
Anytime.
Now, you're not in the boil of water, right?
No, 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 no.
We don't even have to notify them, right?
No, the first one you don't have to notify, because it could have
Oh,
been,
okay.
you know, something on the spigot, it could have been something in the container, it could have been the lab.
So we
Just
don't
something
even
you
need
gotta
to-
watch.
I don't even need to call Barbara.
Got it.
No.
No.
So it's an SCCR report.
Okay.
Once it's-
On the new, if you want to do something as far as the new protocol, you can. On this is something different. This is the bad hit. This is,
Well, you're not there yet.
no, but we have to have an action
The plan in
plan,
place, yeah.
in
Okay.
place that we don't have.
So you need to have discussions.
That's right.
Okay, rather than an immediate reaction.
Right,
Okay.
right, and it has to be all written and sent to the DEP and up here, so that way all our operators and everybody has it.
Alright. I'll let them know, you can give them a call whenever, and just
Okay.
see what they can do for you.
All right.
If I remember correctly, when I was working here, we had a E. coli hit years ago, and DEP pretty much told us everything we needed to do.
Mhm.
You know, samples upstream, downstream. They'll let you know everything you need to do.
They work pretty close with you when that happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably on you.
Your best friends, huh?
They become your best friends.
All right, the special district meeting warrant, discuss and approve.
Got one there?
What?
Oh, no, I didn't know if you wanted it.
I'll go through that.
I don't know. Is everything on it that you wanted on there?
Does it matter to everybody?
It matters to me?
Okay, well, I appreciate that, Ken.
We're on the special district meeting warrant?
Yeah.
Discuss and approve?
Did we have enough, if, the SCADA system has to get upgraded, if that's part of do you have enough in the system maintenance to, we already have money allocated for that?
We rolled some money over from last year
Yeah,
for the
15.
SCADA.
Well, so the plan I used last year was to backfill system maintenance with free cash going forward, so you're not always raising, appropriating, you're using, because we have $500,000 free cash, you should use it. So, we have that plan of just put some money into free cash every November to backfill what you need. We've had to purchase, I don't even know, $20,000 worth of VFDs lately.
Right.
So,
Some computers lined up for you, right?
we had 15, little over 15 grand in that, I think, so it's not gonna be much, if anything.
Right.
We've already approved.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the regular SCADA ones.
I mean, I'll take a look at this more tomorrow.
Yeah,
all right.
the 15,000, yeah.
All right, so that should be fine.
Are we set on the date of November 8th? That's election day?
No,
Okay.
no. I have it as the 17th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw the date on back here, the 8th, and I was like, eh.
Maybe I will.
No,
be there.
I
My
need
last
to
day.
post it by then, so I put the 8th, but.
Okay, so
that-
17th.
Yeah, whenever.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if you guys could do the 17th, if everything on here is good, so this is really just a draft kind of.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not out of state that week.
Will that be the elementary school?
You-
The middle?
We usually do it in the
Middle school.
Is that your middle?
Yeah, we do it in the middle school.
We
Yeah, you're right.
usually do
Yeah,
it in middle
yeah,
school.
yeah. What time is it usually?
I have it down for 6,
Then we're gonna find a moderator, right?
yeah. I do Scott first and then,
Go from there.
I'm good with that.
you good with the 17th?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so me and Jeff had discussed, running section allowance. This was what we have, and taken some of it out of free cash, so we haven't gotten this free cash certified yet, but I anticipate around 500, and that would be using a little bit.
That's what you have in here.
I didn't specify for the free cash or not, other than the capital improvement stabilization was raise and appropriate, and the, engineering, Article 7, I had down as raise and appropriate, and the rest being free cash.
And out of Article 7, I think 50 grand's a grant, so you're gonna be able to
Right, yeah.
put it back into
yeah.
the system,
Which one?
into whatever account you want.
And this is 400, almost 400,000 less than last year's total, with special articles and budget.
Yeah, because I know we're not doing a filter this year, that's.
That was 90 grand.
Yeah, that was
That was
100.
100, right off the rip. All right, well, this looks good for now, we'll go over this a little more.
We gotta vote to, we gotta,
You said that has to be posted when, the 8th?
Yeah.
no, we don't have to vote on that though. No.
Yeah,
Oh, we
so
gotta
have
approve
to-
it, we do have to approve it.
Well, if you're gonna change it, we can always meet to,
So we can table it for now and then just meet to do it, have another meeting.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
You might wanna put more in system maintenance, you don't have to use it all.
is that enough?
Just be careful, because electrical costs and fuel charges, and
everything's up.
It's hard to anticipate what they're gonna be this winter.
Well, they're going up for 56% November 1st.
So there you go.
Yeah, I know, I need to call, because what you're on, the community, for the electric,
Right.
we were on it.
Oh.
Mallory had gotten us on it, and then now, for some reason, our bill's on it.
You gotta
So I
call
need to
Mike,
call them.
or either that or call Mike and he can send you the link. So you can register, you may have to re-register.
Okay.
Usually once they lock you in, you stay on it, but it must have been.
Yeah.
I mean, meters are good, right? Because we spent most of our excess last year in our budget on
Usually once
meters.
they lock you in, but who knows?
We didn't really, you might not need a lot for meters,
We had a meeting.
right?
For the replacing me?
Yeah.
So I don't
No,
know
we
if
still
it'll
have-
expire.
Plenty in there.
It should be
Yeah.
the same thing with the streetlights. too.
Second.
Hmm.
Perfect, Tina.
Yeah, you can give them a call or talk to
I was talking,
Mike's
yeah,
office.
I've been talking to Karen and Leanne about it, and they sent me a link
Yeah.
also, to look into it. I was busy with the meeting today, so tomorrow I can give them a call.
They're saying.
So we just make a motion to table.
Well, our usage rate is actually cheaper than yours, which is,
Volume.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that 17th date is not in stone.
17th, yes.
I think the date is set, I think the date's in stone.
Yes,
It's
Just
just
they have to
the
be-
the articles we have to, we have to change a couple of them. So we gotta table it, so we have to make a motion to table it. Correct.
All right, is there a motion to table the special district meeting warrants?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. All right, superintendent's resignation, read, discuss, and vote.
I'm gonna just step in real quick and make it short and simple and sweet, and I wanna make a motion to table the acceptance of the resignation at this time.
All right.
is there,
Yeah, sorry, so moved.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
I think it makes the second part of that
Right.
null and void, or moot at this point. The position pending.
All right, AT&T antenna lease. So, the antenna lease, it's about the same, correct?
yes,
It's-
option A is basically what we have now with them.
The percentage goes up at all, as far as what we get from them?
Yes, so they're gonna start from where we are, and it's. Yeah, so option one, so that's our current, the 2,662 is what we get now, then the 10% increase every 5 years.
Okay, and that's consistent with what's going on now. And we looked into the lump sum stuff as well. I think I remember talking about that last year.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't,
Not even here.
So we just stay with option
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
And I
Stay with
did,
the monthly.
and I did have another call from someone wanting to buy out the leases.
Yeah, not well, so.
yeah, that's just brokers trying to make
Yeah.
a buck,
Mhm.
so.
Did you want to send this to Matt for his review?
Well, we should, yeah, we don't wanna sign anything unless Matt just takes a peek at it, make sure there's nothing hidden in here that
Right.
we don't see, so.
It's pretty straightforward, and it looks like the same as what it was last year, but like you said, let's send it to Matt. I have no issues doing that. Then we can, once he blesses it, then I think we're good.
All right, so we'll make a motion to have Matt Costa review the lease between us and the antenna people.
So moved?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys have it. All right. Next regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners, November 3rd, 7th or 8th.
Oh,
Do the-
I'm away from the 9th to the 14th.
So you're putting an ultimatum on us now?
Yes. Well, I have to have the 17th. That's 7 days, yeah. That's fine.
17th.
Well, that'd be the
That's
month-
the-
that's
That would be the Thursday before.
Right.
Can we do a regular monthly
So-
meeting prior to the,
So actually, that's not a Thursday. The Thursday would be the 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
The 3rd,
Mhm.
I just did the 17th because I'm away these days. But we have to do it before here.
That's third, okay with you?
Yes.
November 3rd.
Yep.
So, yeah, be fine.
Same time, 6 o'clock? 6:30? 6:30?
Whichever works for you.
Yeah, six.
Doesn't matter
Six
to me.
is fine. All right, any public input
There are parent conferences at the high school on the
is it?
3rd, but
on the third?
that's all. I'm good. I want to go to this.
Public input?
Yeah, Mr. Hogger. Mr. Coonan, I don't know if you've already left, but if you haven't, please reconsider. You've been an asset, you helped turn around the program that was failing. I wish you'd consider if that opportunity still exists. It's been a pleasure working with you. It really has.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and first, thank you for letting us kind of sit in here.
Yeah.
As chiefs of public safety, we just wanted to make sure that, we conveyed that we have equal share in the interest in this town too. I've been on 19 years, chief's been around longer than that. And it's the first time we've had a really good relationship working with water. Not to say that it was bad prior.
Mhm.
But the communication has been great, so kudos to you on that. I think Chief McGee works with them more than I do, but there are plenty of times where the phone will ring and there are conversations had that do affect public safety and public interest, so. You've done a great job and we appreciate that, and it will be tough.
So I think from my standpoint, I just want to obviously know that whatever happens, I totally agree with the police chief. Jeff's been great to work with. He communicates with me more than anybody in town as far as what goes on in the district. I communicate with him when I use something, I let him know. It's a great working relationship with the district right now, so to see him leave is difficult. My biggest concern right now is we have a big water main project going on that's gonna start as the commissioner goes out the door. I'm really concerned on public safety from the standpoint of hydrants and what's gonna happen when the changeover occurs and will those hydrants be in service. So just it's gonna be crucial that there's a point of contact for us, and who that is during the project, because if there's an issue, we need to know who to contact, and that can be all hours of the day.
Yep.
And I know right now, if I text Jeff at midnight, he's gonna answer his phone and he's gonna reply to me and get back to me and be responsive. So just having that point of contact is crucial. So I appreciate, Jeff, everything you've done for me and helped me with my, as little as things sound, pump testing. We do pump testing at the landfill, and I know he gets complaints, but he fields them for me because it's something we have to take care of. It's not like an option. It's something I have to do, and you guys allow us to do it, and Jeff's been great to work with. So, closed testing coming up. I have all that coming up, so I just hope that whoever is as a point of contact, that we can continue to have that same kind of working relationship.
Appreciate the words, both of you. Thank you for all you guys do in the town, obviously. We'll take it to heart, and however it shakes out, we'll make sure we continue to keep the relationship we have going and want to build it and make it stronger. So appreciate the kind words and the service you guys do, for sure.
Thank you. That's all we ask for, is
Yeah.
just, continue this, because we've gone through some interesting department heads, and we always talked as we grew up in our respective services that when we got to the point where we had the opportunity to fix things, that we would.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now where the town's going through kind of a transition of leadership, and it's so important to keep it going and keep the foot on the pedal, because it works right now.
Agreed.
So.
Absolutely agree.
You made me think of two quick questions for you, and I know Jeff had started it, the lay-down yard, did you talk to the?
So, yeah, Phil stopped by, I actually talked to Phil the morning that we met here, and then he stopped by the station later in the day. I reached out to, I'm gonna forget her name now.
It's okay, I'm bad with names.
Geosyntec, who oversees the Zeneca property. She's working on talking with Zeneca to use the parking lot as a laydown site. I told Phil, I gave her Phil's phone number. I told Phil that if he doesn't hear from her next week to let me know and I'll reach out to her. And actually, the police chief and I have a meeting with her next week in regards to the Muddy Cove Dam. So we can touch base then. Another one you'll love.
And maybe we can do something up further up on Main once they get to that part, that way they're not going all the way down, to keep them moving as fast as they can.
Yeah.
That's our intent, to try to keep them rolling as, easy as we can.
Sure.
And there was one other thing. What was that? Oh, is there any possible way, and this could be just, I'm throwing it out there, when you do some of the pump tests down at the dump, can they be done up here during the day instead of the dump?
We can do them wherever you want. It's just we're gonna be here for, it's an all-day operation.
No, we wouldn't pump any water. It would take what we're pumping.
They use that much?
You don't use a ton, but you do add to the truck.
Yeah.
No,
it'd be like filling
there's
a
been
pool
so many
truck.
dirty water calls lately, and like every time we open up a hydrant, and it's just been like between the whole Arujos and water trucks, and then we had the situation with the hydro seeding trucks. I just didn't know if there was something small that you guys were doing that, just asking.
The pump testing, we take up your whole parking lot because there's a trailer and then the pump sits beside it. They have all this other equipment they have to put out, so we take up this whole parking lot.
I was just asking.
And, yep,
That's all right.
And then the hose testing, if you can imagine, the whole pumper, we lay out all the hose on the ground. It all gets tested one at a time, so it takes
All right,
it
that's
takes up
fine.
that
That's what I'd
whole.
ask.
Yeah, no, it's-
I
I'm willing to go anywhere. It's just a matter of where the
Yeah.
real
No,
estate's
that's fine.
available
No,
and
that's
not hinder your
We
operation
used to
here.
fill the pool trucks here because it didn't disrupt the system, so we just, try not to aggravate the residents with the brown water.
Sure.
And just trying to, every avenue that we can think of, just throwing it out there to see if it's even possible. So
Understood,
if it's not, hey, it is what it is.
Understood. And that's why we try to communicate to let us, even if we're doing training, sometimes we do some hose deployment training over there. We try to just let the superintendent
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah.
we're doing it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
I'd like to just say, I worked with Jeff working here and as a commissioner, and he's a great asset to this department. I think you're gonna have some big shoes to fill. He's a nice guy, smart guy, knows all about the water, so he's very intelligent guy. Big shoes to fill, you guys.
Thanks, Connie.
So glad I don't have to do it.
1711.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the words.
Thank you. All right, is there a motion to go into executive session under the provisions of chapter 38, section A?
Section 21A2.
Something like that.
So moved.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, ayes have it.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll not be coming back into open session.
Good luck, pal. Have a good night, guys.
All right, I'm
Thanks,
sorry.
guys. Appreciate it.
And Tina.